Today I'm going to talk about coming to America, what it was like. Moving here, from Africa, the culture was extremely different. Everything was like so different. My first day of school was probably the weirdest day, and it was my first time being the only black kid in a class ever. It was super awkward. The teacher introduced me, and everybody was like, "Oh, that's the new kid from Africa. That's the new kid from Africa." You could just hear the chatter in class. All eyes were on me. This dude named Sean J was like the first person to ever come talk to me. Sean J in middle school was like the kid with the sauce, right? He had like all the juice. Everybody knew him. He was like the popular kid and all that. Yeah, so he came up to me. He was like, "What's up, man? My name is Sean. I'm gonna show you around. If you need anything, I got you. Just ask for help." And I was like, "Thank you." And he walked away. And then another kid named Brady Martis came and said, "What's up?" And I thought they looked the same. Y'all know how you think Asian people look the same, but they don't really look the same, but you think they look the same? Yeah, that's how it was for me. I thought everybody looked the same. So when the second kid came and said his name was Brady, I was like, huh? I thought it was Sean who came back. And when we went to lunch, I didn't know what to eat. In Africa, everything has rice in it. Like every meal you eat, whether it's lunch or dinner, you usually got rice, or potatoes or some beans with a sauce or something like that. But then here, the choices were pizza, hamburger, French fries, and some shit called tacos. To this day, I still don't eat tacos. That shit is weird. Anyways, so I was like, huh? I didn't know what to eat. So it took me like 10 minutes to figure out what to eat. So I got ketchup, and I got pizza, and I got strawberry milk. And I put ketchup on the pizza, and everybody was looking at me like, that shit is nasty. Some people were asking me like racist questions, and some people were just asking me like curious questions, But one thing for sure is when you come to America, people are gonna ask a lot of questions. Like they would ask me like, did I live in a hut? Did I have clothes? Did I have food? Did I go walk 10 miles to get water every morning? Did I ride a lion to school? That's like their favorite question. Did I ride a lion to school? Or did I have a giraffe in my backyard? Oh, nigga. What the fuck? Like people think Africa is a big ass jungle. Like it's not like that at all. One of the other things you gotta do when you come to America is go get a lot of shots. So my first time going to get shots, I really wanted to pee, right? I like really had to pee. So we went with me and my mom and my sister. We got into the doctor's office, and I'm sitting there like, I gotta pee. And I told the doctor, I'm like, "Doc, I gotta pee, man." She's like, "Calm down, bruh. Let me read you the legal papers and let you know what you gotta do." And she's like, "I'm actually glad you gotta pee because I got a cup I need you to pee in." And I'm like, "Man, say less. Just let me pee." And I sit and I wait, and she finally gives me the cup. She's like, "Hey, go into the bathroom, pee in this cup." I'm like, "Alright, whatever." And I picked up the cup. And I ran to the bathroom, I put the cup down, and I finally peed. One of the best pees I've ever had, bruh. So after I peed, I flushed the bathroom, and I went to wash my hands. And then I realized I never peed in a cup. And I started freaking out. I was like, holy crap, what am I gonna do? And I started washing my hands. I started putting water on my body so I could pee again. I started drinking a whole lot of water. And I ran out, I told the doctor, I was like, I forgot to pee in the cup, and I already peed. She looked at me, she was like, "You're stupid." And I'm like, "My bad, bruh, I really had to pee." She's like, "Well, you gotta find a way." And I went, and I struggled for like 10 minutes, but I finally peed, man. That was one of my most embarrassing moments. My second embarrassing moment was probably going to church for the first time in America. See, in African churches are lit, and they last about 6 hours. To go to church in Africa, you gotta be committed, man. So I never really had communion in Africa. This was my first time getting communion. So I went to church for my first time, and the pastor was just like, "And Jesus said that you gotta respect and obey the law." And I was just sleeping. I was like, "Oh God, I'm not gonna be able to go through this." Because in Africa, this is how pastors preach. they just be like, and Jesus said, you gotta do this. Can I get an amen, brother? Yes, sir. Like, they're so loud. And it's so lit. Like, yeah, people will love churches in Africa. You know, and the music is turned, bruh. You know, people dancing. Here, they don't dance. They just, like, kind of sing. But in Africa, you sweat, man. You burn like 200 calories at church. That's just how it is. It was my first time getting communion, and I didn't know if you're supposed to chew the bread. I was like, this is the body of Jesus. Like, am I supposed to chew this, or do I just swallow it to show respect? How does this go? And I didn't want to ask the people that was next to me, so I drank my juice, I swallowed it, and then I swallowed the bread of Jesus, you know, and I swallowed the communion, and I started choking on it. I never chewed on this. I was like, you know, I'm choking in church, and I didn't want to make it too obvious. I was like, and then the people next to me, they thought I was praying. They're like, oh, look at that boy, just a nice young Christian man praising the Lord. And I was just like,
help me, nigga, help me.
And I didn't know what to do, so, you know, I ran outside and I went to the fountain drink and I got a water. And that was one of my most embarrassing moments. My other embarrassing moment was me, one time I was in math class and the teacher let me pass out papers. And there's still words I don't know how to say. And she gave me the papers, and then she told me to pass out papers, and this was the girl's last name. Right? So I got the papers and I was like, Haley, bitch, where you at, bitch? Come get your paper, bitch. Oh, if you don't get this paper, bitch, I'm moving on, bitch. And the teacher was like, whoa, somebody got too much deep on their chip. She was like, who is that? And I'm like, that's her name. And she's like, no, that's not how you say their name. Stop, pause, stop. And I gave out the papers and I almost got detention because I said the name wrong. Being the only black kid in class is horrible, especially when they teach about slavery. So the first time they taught about slavery, everybody looked at me. You know, why the fuck does everybody look at the black kid when they start teaching about slavery? Like, do y'all want me to elaborate on the lesson? Like, what do y'all want me to do? You know, they'll be teaching about slavery and every kid would look at me like, what the fuck? Are y'all trying to apologize for your ancestors? Like, why are y'all looking at me? I really did not, like, everybody just look at me like, stop looking at me, bruh. And then when I got here, people were like, oh my God, tell us about Kwanzaa. You know, are you guys doing Kwanzaa? What the fuck? Africans don't know nothing about Kwanzaa. I didn't know that Kwanzaa was a thing until I came here. And I don't even know what it is till now. I still don't know what it is. I know it's a holiday celebrated by African Americans, but that's really all I know. Like, I don't know how it started. I don't know what it's about. You know? And people, they think that if you're from Africa, you celebrate Kwanzaa. And then a lot of people thought just because you're from Africa, you're Muslim. You know, there's like, oh, where's your cap? I'm like, what? And here, people fear Muslims so bad. Like, people here just have a Islamophobia. And the fear of Muslims here, it's man-made. Nobody else fears Muslims like Americans. Like, this is only in America, you know? When I used to live in Africa, one of my best friends was Muslims. My neighbors were Muslims, you know? I thought the whole community was Muslim. And nobody fears Muslims like here, you know? And I think they do that because the TV correlates. I think people fear Muslims because the media in America correlates being Muslim and being a terrorist. They put it all in the same subject, you know? When people think of a terrorist here, they think of a Muslim right away. And I don't know why people do that, man. You know? A terrorist is someone who uses violence for political gain. And that could be a Christian, that could be a Jew, that could be an atheist, but it is always put on a Muslim. Like, what? It's messed up, you know? One of the most horrible moments I had in high school was one time I was by my friend's locker, and me and my friends were chilling, and this Muslim girl, she had a hijab on. She came and said, "Excuse me, can I use my locker?" And one of the guys on the side said, "Oh, it's a terrorist," and he ran away. And that was extremely sad, man. I thought it was horrible. You know, it wasn't funny. It still ain't funny. I don't think it'll ever be funny. You know, and one of the things is, I think I finally understand why a lot of kids ask me those racist questions, and whether, you know, I had shoes or clothes in Africa. It's because I've seen the way the American media portrays Africa. The media here only takes the negative aspects of Africa and only shows it on TV. For example, I'm from Rwanda, and in Rwanda in 1994 there was a genocide, and if you look at anything America ever talks about, is that genocide. Not what happened after, not how they're doing now, only the genocide, you know. That's all people ask me about when they realize I was from Rwanda, Kigali, Rwanda. And, you know, so every time I watch the media, they're literally just showing like dying kids and, you know, war. So it's really not like that at all. Africa is a beautiful ass place, you know. You guys should do some research and check it out. It's amazing there, you know. And people wonder why black people were so happy to get Black Panther. People weren't excited for Black Panther because it was the best Marvel movie, you know, ever made, with the best storyline. We loved Black Panther because of the way it portrayed black people in Africa. I think Black Panther was one of the first movies, if not the first movie, to show Africa as a strong, independent place. You know, they just make Africa look so bad and so poor. You know, they'll never tell you that like 6 out of the top 10 diamonds producing companies are from Africa. You know, you never hear that the richest man to ever exist was from Africa. You don't hear stuff like that because it just may look bad. So that's why, you know, people were so happy to see Black Panther. It was the way it represented the black people in Africa. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions, ask me in the comments, or text me, email me, or DM me. You know, I've got Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat. It's all the same. My ad right there. And thank you.